Guess no one's showing up, so it's just me and you, Pedro. You got any specific questions you want to talk about, or just want me to do some general ones from last week's lecture?
I have no questions at the moment.
No questions at the moment? Okay, let me generate some random ones for sworn today. What were we doing? We were doing rational exponents, right?
I believe so.
So it's math 335. Oh, that's a narrow pin. That now. Use that one later. We're on, let's see, day 10. 9th day of lecture. And we are covering practice problems for rational exponents. Let's go with let's say we have I don't know, 27x to the 5 halves minus 18x to the negative 3 halves. Let's factor out the greatest common factor. And we want to do it such that the remaining stuff has positive exponents. This pin kind of sucks. So go ahead and give that a try for a minute or two, and then we'll do it together. Depends on what you mean by quick.
Under 6 seconds.
Yeah.
So here I have, it's very interesting, we're supposed to like factor these out. Or an equation like this, I already got this part out. Would it be the same for here with factoring it out, just simplifying it? Because this one is a little bit different, this one is like having a distributed property or vice, reverse distributed property. Well, it's this high is this, I'll write it down,
Okay.
so many tries after not getting it down. Yeah, it's a question to find.
Yeah, it's very similar to this,
Yeah.
let's see what each.
GC, and no, the lowest common factor, LCF, not GCF, I'm assuming, right? So I'm able to factor out a 5 somewhere there and a 2.
What if you can factor stuff out, you're looking for the greatest factors, common factors that are on top and bottom and
Okay.
canceling.
What about the Ys? Because I'm not sure if I'm supposed to
So
do that. and then
eliminate
cancel.
Y's if you
Okay.
can. So let's see, on this one, you did, flipped it, good. You cancel 25s, good. 2s can
This is my
cancel.
last turn at these tries.
You can also cancel one of these Ys with one of
Right.
those Ys
It
here.
could be a Y5, right?
Right,
Right.
and then factor this stuff more, like 10 and 25 both have, oh shit, you got a 50 over a 50 here. How'd you get a 50 over a 50?
Again, this is hers. I asked if she could.
Okay.
Try it too. This is my original work, and then I was gonna try it again.
Okay, so make sure you try to factor more, because both of these have a factor of 5 in them. But you were on the right path right here.
Okay. So then I integrated TY to the 5th, but I put that in, and that wasn't correct either. That was my lowest.
Yes, there's another Y maybe you can cancel out on top.
But that was right with the other cancel Y.
You have a Y here, you cancel out 4 Ys on top here. You crossed off the 5, which means you took out 4 of them.
Mhm.
Which means there's a Y left on bottom and there's a Y left on top. This is Y to the 5th,
Should be Y4 actually.
Y to the 4th.
Okay, thank you.
So we both here.
Oh, that's right. So,
Hey. You know, you guys can work in here if you've got questions.
what's up?
You guys can work in here and ask questions if you want.
We bullshit too much.
And that's true.
Yeah, come on.
Alright, did you were you able to do one of these or do this, Pedro?
So I factored out 27 and 18, and I'm kind of like just stuck there.
Okay, so they both have a 9 in common, right?
Yeah.
So we take out a 9. And that'll leave you a 3 and a 2. I'll put this down here. Three and 2. And then there's, what you wanna do is find the exponent that has the lowest exponent for x and take that out. So in this case, x to the negative 3/2. So an easy way of doing this is writing what you initially had. This doesn't work for everyone, like Hannah didn't like this method, I talked to Hannah over the weekend. And she understood, she like got what was going on and didn't need to do this. But we can put what we factored out below and just divide. This is actually how you end up with what you have left over. So the 27 divided by 9 gives us the 3, the 18 divided by 9 gives us the 2. When we have x's over x's, you subtract exponent. So I have x to the 5/2 minus negative 3/2. Which is gonna give me x to the 8/2, which is x to the 4th power. So that one would have an x to the 4th power. Then we can do the same thing here. We can see, should hopefully be able to see that those should cancel out and we actually don't need a bigger parentheses like that. And so the factored form of it would be this.
Okay, I get it.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does.
Using where the homework is and where we're at.
Okay, so which homework section are you on? What topics what are you working on?
The last one I did. I don't remember, honestly. Cause I had my birthday last week, so that's why I didn't do last week. I had to take time off.
That's not a good reason.
I don't get that much break, so then.
You get summers off, you get winter.
I don't.
You don't, well, if you go work, yeah, you would.
Well, cause no, I have, so I'm on this map and I have to get to Cal 3. So I have to do like,
Right,
yeah,
but when we're like,
I have summer classes.
I know they don't teach the calculus classes in summer.
No, I know, but I'm
Right.
saying like, from where I'm at and from where transfer credits, I have to do 4 years with no summer breaks.
You're trying to get, like, what's your degree or major you go for?
Computer science,
Yeah, you're trying to get this shit done in 4 years is ridiculous. It's not gonna easily happen.
no,
STEM degrees take longer than. Those are degrees. I didn't say that very loud. I don't know. Pedro, did you hear what I just said? I wonder if the mic picked it up.
I did not.
Oh, excellent, good, because it's recording, I want it to go louder. I was not talking anything bad about you, don't worry. Alright. Let's see, let's do another one. Let's do one that's similar, to make sure you like get this concept down. Alright, try factoring out. Great. Fucking roll on in wherever the fuck you guys feel like. No, God forbid the fucking class like start 20 minutes ago. 15 minutes ago. We're working on factoring these. My weekend was good. Yours?
it was good. Good. Fair as always.
And again, you guys walked in together.
Actually, he was behind me. I stopped to talk to Jimmy for a little bit.
You stuck. Are you fucking slowing down my students from showing up in class? You busy motherfucker. Take your shit down the hall. Back. But. Factoring. That's what we're doing right now. We're just doing a harder factoring. It's not really that much harder. We're still just pulling out common things, but now you're focusing on the lowest exponent. Doing this division thing isn't for everybody. Some people can see, like the numbers it's easy to get the 3 and the 2 quickly for people. Once you get used to factoring. Doing the pulling out exponents. When they're not whole numbers. Is more challenging for some people. And so like if you can't go from factoring out -3 halves here. From 5 halves and ending up with to the 4th power. This is how we would walk through doing it. We would divide through by what we factored out. And when we would subtract exponents. Subtracting exponents gets us that x to the 4th and bam. That's what goes there. So try doing something similar to that to these. See, Pedro shows up on time. That's all I know. Pedro gives a fuck. So what would be the number we could factor out? What about the variable with the exponent?
X.
The -5/3. Let me make sure everyone's on the same page with that and work with that. And we'll go over that in a second. So does someone have a factored form on the inside? Wait, how you doing, Drew? How close are you?
Still figuring out the factored form.
Okay, let's give it another minute. Remember, you're subtracting exponents. Okay, so if I do the 50 divided by 5, I get 10. If I subtract these, it might be helpful to like look at them on the side. We're doing -2/3 minus -5/3. So the two negatives become a plus right there. And I'm adding -2 plus 5. And I get 3/3, which is 1. I should have a 10x to the first there. And then I do 35 divided by 5 is 7. And we'll look at the 7/3 minus the -5/3. Again, it turns into a plus. So this is 7 plus 5/3. 12/3 is 4, so that should be x to the 4th power. And then 15 divided by 5 is 3. And the x's cancel out, so I didn't need that much room. So this takes practice. The more you do work on the homework, the easier this gets.
Really?
Yeah.
Why do we use x to the -5/3?
We want to notice how there's no negative exponents in here. By choosing the lowest one, we've got something here that doesn't have any negative exponents. Now, this might eventually end up factoring more. I don't think it does here. I could randomly pick shit and we've got x to the 4th here. And in all reality, there's not a lot of times you'll do stuff like this, even in calculus. It shows up. On occasion, it shows up with a weird exponent, but
So it's always the lowest exponent.
yeah, we're pulling out the lowest exponent. Or the most, yeah, it is the lowest. Not closest to zero, but lowest. Like when we were dealing with just positive exponents, it was always just the closest to zero. Alright, let's kick it up a notch. Let's do 2x plus 1 to the negative 5/3 again. No, let's say negative 5/4. Minus 2x plus 1 to the negative 1/4. Minus or plus 2x plus 1. Let's go to the 3/4. You might find this easier to say u equals 2x plus 1 and rewrite this with u's. But if you substitute in substitute u for 2x plus 1, you have to undo this later on. You have to put the 2x plus 1 back in later. What kind of u can I bring out? U to the negative 5/4. If I do that, I'm gonna rewrite each of these inside. I showed the division here, but I wanna write it on the inside, showing it with the exponents just going straight to the subtraction. We got negative 5/4 minus negative 5/4 on that one, and then I go minus u negative 1/4 minus negative 5/4 again. And then plus u to the 3/4 minus negative 5/4. What kind of stuff do we get on the inside? What happens with the exponents in the first one?
0.
becomes 0. Which means this is just 1. What about the next one?
4 which is just either one.
E to the 1. And we generally don't write the exponent when it's a 1. And the last one?
Square.
U squared. You'll get u to the 8/4. So plus u squared. And so this doesn't factor anymore. It's supposed to factor anymore, but it doesn't. Without using some complicated stuff that we don't want to do yet. But we didn't start with u, so we don't want to end with u. We're gonna put 2x plus 1 back in. Oh, we should clean this up. That might factor more when we're done. Who knows?
Is it? Is one not a negative one or does it not make a difference? Or in the middle for you? On the red column. Yeah,
On the red, this is a neg,
or at one. Shouldn't that be a negative one or not?
let's see, we had a negative 1/4. And we subtracted negative 5/4. So we have, that becomes a plus, -1 plus 5.
Oh.
It should be a positive one.
Yeah.
So remember, this is 2x plus 1 times 2x plus 1. We have to multiply it out. You can't just square the 2x and square the 1. Still have that 2x plus 1 to the negative 5/4 out front. I'm going to distribute the negative here to each of these, so minus 2x minus 1. And then we can multiply this out. 2x times 2x is 4x squared. And then I get 1 times 2x, and then 1 times another 2x is 4x. And then plus 1. Looks like I have a 4x squared. The things that have an x, I have a 4x and the negative 2x. 4 minus 2 is 2, so we have plus 2x. And then I've got 1, negative 1, those cancel out, and then I've got plus 1 more. We can try to factor this. A times C is 1 times 4, which is 4. And B is 2. So we need things that multiply to 4 but add to 2. The only options we have are 1 and 4 and 2 and 2. And neither of them add to 2. So this doesn't factor more. The only thing that factors out was that part. Be honest with you, usually the homework problems are harder than. Test problems. Get the hard shit out of the way on the homework, where you have time to think. And figure it out, and then test problems. Will cover similar material, but they tend to be easier. But you have time constraints, you're limited by time. You guys want another one? Any questions?
Yeah, can you show me how to do this on the message?
Yeah. Hit me with it.
Um. A plus 4 cubed.
A, like the letter A?
Yeah. No, well, A plus 4 is.
Like that?
Yeah, like that. Plus 729.
Okay, that's it?
Yeah.
Okay. So this looks like to me, we've only got two terms. When we have two terms, we only have three options. We can have an a squared minus b squared. We can have an a cubed minus b cubed. We can have an a cubed plus b cubed. This has got a cube on it and it's got a plus. So I'm guessing this is what we're looking for. Is 729 something cubed?
It is.
Might be 9. Is it 9 cubed?
Yeah, it's fine.
So. This is a plus 4 cubed plus 9 cubed. So the formula for a cubed plus b cubed is, it's very similar to the minus one. We do a plus b in the first one. And then we have a squared minus ab plus b squared. This is this one right here. The one with the minus has the exact same shit, except this is a minus sign and that's a plus sign, and everything else was the same. We're doing this top one here, and it looks like, I guess I wish I hadn't used A and B because we got A's over here. But like this A right here is the A plus 4. And that's the B. So everywhere I see an A, I'm going to do an A plus 4 in this equation. So maybe I'll set up the thing with just the symbols first. And then do the other stuff in a different color. So A plus 4 goes here. And B goes here. A squared goes here, and that's a plus 4, so a plus 4 squared. And then I gotta multiply these two. I've got minus a plus 4 times 9. And then I have plus b squared, and b is 9, so 9 squared. Alright. Does what I plugged in make sense? Is everyone following the plugins? Are you with me, Drew?
Yeah.
Alright, we still gotta do some work here. I wish I hadn't used green and blue, I wish I had done green and red. So. A plus 4 plus 9, I can add the 4 and the 9. And that's gonna give me a 13. Doing A plus 4 squared might be handy to do over here on the side. That's A plus 4 times A plus 4. So we get A squared plus 4A plus 4A plus 16. And we combine that. And we get 8A, A squared plus 8A plus 16. Then I have 9 times A plus 4 is 9A. And then we've got 9 times 4 is 36, but there's a minus on this also, minus on it also. So I'll just do the minus on it now and put minus 36 now. And then 9 squared is 81. And finally, we put shit together that goes together in the second parentheses. A squared is just A squared, that's that one. We have an 8A minus a 9A. 8A minus 9A should be just minus A. And I have 16 minus 36 is minus 20. Minus 20 plus 81 should be plus 61. And that should be it. We got 4 or 5 more minutes. You ever got another question? Homework problems, or this is a great time to ask homework problem questions. I definitely approve of bringing that in. Thank you, Eric. Only you had shown up, you know, at like, I don't know, 3:10. Could have got some more shit done.
I know.
Anyone got a question, or should I just? I don't know, we don't have time to go through the whole other problem. And let's do it.
I'd have to pull the homework up.
Anybody got anything? All right, let's call it a wrap for this, and we'll start again for the next part. In the next class.